Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyers guy. And I know it's been taking this, I know it's been a while. I know I said I was going to do a retrospective of the 2025-2026 Flyers season. I'm sorry it's taken me a long time to get to this episode. I was taking care of some things and I've been cleaning up my Twitter account of all the spam accounts that follow me. With that being said, here's how the season went down for the Philadelphia Flyers. It was a season of twists and turns. A season that started out very promising. A season that went from promising to rocky, and then to a playoff appearance. This season had everything. The whole season started out around October. Flyers will lose the first two games of the season. One against the Florida Panthers, and the next game against the Carolina Hurricanes for the Flyers. We were able to force overtime. But the Flyers thought they had won in overtime in that game. But the goal was taken back because of goaltender interference, in which the Flyers lost to the Hurricanes in overtime. Flyers then returned home for a game against the Florida Panthers. Flyers got the win in their home opener. Flyers had faced off against a very good Winnipeg Jets team. Flyers had lost that game to the Winnipeg Jets. Flyers next opponent would be the Minnesota Wild. The Flyers would defeat them in overtime, as Noah Cates got the overtime game-winning goal. October had some twisted turns, but the Flyers had a pretty decent month of October. In November, there were some ups and there were some downs. But the Flyers got three big wins to end off the end. The Flyers got a bunch of big wins to end off the month of November. After losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Flyers beat the Florida Panthers on the night before Thanksgiving. And on Black Friday, the Flyers got a victory over the New York Islanders in a shootout, and followed that up with a victory over the New Jersey Devils the following Saturday. The month of December started out promising. Flyers won some games. They lost some games. But the Flyers were able to end off. The Flyers were able to go into the holiday break with two big wins. With two wins. One against the Vancouver Canucks on December 22nd. And one against the Chicago Blackhawks on December 23rd. Flyers came back, lost the game to Seattle Kraken, but then got a victory, their second victory of the season, over the Vancouver Canucks. Flyers then went to Calgary to face off against the Flames on New Year's Eve. Unfortunately, the Flyers did not steal a victory over the Flames. Flyers next opponent. Flyers next opponent will be the Edmonton Oilers. month of January. The month against Edmonton would be the only win the Flyers would get. As January turned into, February turned into an absolute disaster for the Philadelphia Flyers. Many media outlets showed their concern, and frustration with the way the Flyers were playing in the month of January and February. In that month, the Flyers had some key injuries. One key injury was the Dan Lazar. January to February, the penalty kill took a hard hit as the Flyers lose games in bunches in the month of January and in the month of February. After getting a point of the Ottawa Senators to close out February going into the 11th break, before going into the 11th break, the Flyers were able to get a point of the Ottawa Senators. As the season was put on hold for the 11th break, Sam Ersson, in the month of January and February, suffered a lot of bad losses. After coming back on the Olympics break, Sam Ersson started to get better, started to find his rhythm in net again. In the month of March, the Philadelphia Flyers got a victory over the New York Rangers and MSG in overtime as Matthew Nichol got the game-winning goal. March was an up and down month for the Flyers. They were in and out of a playoff spot. In late March, the Flyers started to turn things around. The Flyers did lose a couple of games in the month of March. There was one key victory for the Philadelphia Flyers that started it all. In a game against the Dallas Stars, the game went into overtime, and Trevor Zegras got the overtime game-winning goal as the Flyers defeated the Dallas Stars in overtime. Flyers then had a game on Easter Sunday as they would face off against the Boston Bruins. This was the time where Paul Martin made his debut. After losing to the Detroit Red Wings, the Flyers were able to beat the Dallas Stars. They also defeated the Boston Bruins in overtime as the Flyers got the overtime game-winning goal as Paul Martin got his first goal of the season. Just 19 years old, with his first goal of the season. Flyers then will lose the big game to Detroit in Detroit, but turned it around as they defeated the Winnipeg Jets 7-2. And then on Sunday, something amazing happened for the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers were chasing the Columbus Blue Jackets. If the Blue Jackets could get the victory on Sunday over the Bruins, then the Flyers' playoff chances would take a huge hit. Luckily, the Columbus Blue Jackets suffered a loss to the Boston Bruins, and the Flyers only needed one more victory to get into the playoffs. The date was set as the Flyers would have a crucial matchup in the regular season against the Carolina Hurricanes. If the Flyers should win just one more game, then they would punch your ticket to the postseason. If they lost this game, then they had to win. They came down to the final game of the season. In that game against Carolina, the Flyers were down 2-0 during the second period. Flyers, Matthew Niskanen got the goal for the Flyers because the lead in half, and then Trevor Zegras with a goal on the power play tied the score for the Philadelphia Flyers. In the third period, Flyers and Carolina Hurricanes traded chances, but the game went into overtime. Just like the third, both teams traded chances. The game would eventually go into a shootout. Fast forward into the shootout, Tyson Foerster gets the goal for the Flyers to give him the lead in the shootout. Shortly after that, Dan Lazar makes one of the biggest saves of the season as the Flyers punched their ticket to the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in 5 years, for the first time in front of a crowd since 2018, and for the first time making a playoff appearance for the first time since 2020. Flyers' first opponent was the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Flyers got tons of the Penguins in the first 2 games of the series, with 2 wins in Pittsburgh, and then coming back to Philly to get a third win to take a 3-0 lead in the series. Pittsburgh Penguins turned things around in the Games 4 and Games 5. Game 6 would be do or die with the Philadelphia Flyers. This team did not want to go back to Pittsburgh for Game 7. In Game 6, it was a scoreless tie, and ran all 3 periods were scoreless until the overtime period, when Cam York got the overtime game-winning goal as the Flyers defeated the Pittsburgh Penguins in 6 games to advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Flyers have a hell of a fight in their series, the Carolina Hurricanes. Cam York got the goal in the overtime game, got the goal in Game 6 against the Penguins to get the Flyers into the second round. Unfortunately, even though the Flyers put up a good fight, they were swept 4-0 by the Carolina Hurricanes. Despite the ending to this season, the way the Flyers got into the playoffs, the way they turned things around after the Olympic break, when it was looking like this season was going to be a bust, this Flyers team dug down deep, and they fought hard. They fought hard to get into the postseason. Many people would say that the Flyers were not supposed to be there. they agree with that. But despite that sentiment, despite that statement, the Flyers gave Philly fans a season to remember. A season for the Flyers were the men that we needed. That season, a lot of people put the percentages and how the Flyers to get in the playoffs. Many broadcasters had their doubts about this team making the playoffs. But they finally proved everybody wrong. The first half started off promising. The second half, many people said that this team was in purgatory. But the way this team dug down deep, the way this team stayed together, the way this team worked together, this season was certainly a memorable season. There are a lot of question marks going into the off-season. But the Flyers re-signed Dan Lazar. I would say so. Because Dan Lazar played his ass off this season. Sam Ersson turned things around this season. Because he stayed as the backup for the Flyers. And those Flyers part ways. Those Flyers re-signed Travis Konecny. Well, Travis Konecny be dealt in the off-season. I know that Owen Tippett certainly has a huge chip on his shoulder after going down to injury in the playoffs. He certainly will be back next season. There's a lot of great players on this team. I gotta say, Trevor Zegras, I'm glad they signed him. Matthew Nichon, I know there's been a lot of drama circling behind Matthew Nichon, but I really think that Nichon is certainly going to have a huge chip on his shoulder after the playoffs he had. I will say this, listen. I know I've done some videos about Matthew Nichon, where I've been very negative about Matthew Nichon. But if you look at it this way, Matthew Nichon did not have a good start to the season. And that could be a factor. That could be a factor. With a new season, it's going to be a new season next year. And hopefully, we'll see a tougher, more focused Matthew Nichon during training camp. We most likely could see a more dedicated, more focused, and more determined Matthew Nichon next season. As for Couturier, he is getting up there in age. But Couturier was a warrior in these playoffs. Many people had their doubts about Couturier. But Couturier showed a lot of people that he still has a lot of gas left in his tank. Don't underestimate Sean Couturier. That was the message. Do not underestimate Sean Couturier, because he played his ass off in those playoffs. He ran out there, put his skates on, put his helmet on, ran out there, and he worked his ass off this year. He went the extra mile this season. Coach Rick Tocchet, many people have mixed opinions about Rick Tocchet this season. In my opinion, he is one of the biggest reasons that this team was able to get to the playoffs. Dan Vladar was another huge reason that this team got into the playoffs. And Sam Ersson deserves some credit as well, as he turned it around this season. So I'm going to tell you, Coach Rick Tocchet, he should say, as a coach, but there's an opportunity that there comes a time when Rick Tocchet wants to move on. Then there's a possibility that we could see another former Philadelphia Flyers coach this hockey team. And I'm talking about Rod Brind'Amour. If somehow Rick Tocchet will never come back for next season, maybe the season after, if he decides to maybe move on and take a coaching job somewhere else, then I'd like to see, just maybe, Rod Brind'Amour coach his hockey team in later seasons. I wouldn't mind that. I gotta tell you, he's done wonders for the Carolina Hurricanes. Not taking anything away from Rick Tocchet. There is a possibility that Rick Tocchet could maybe get this team to the promised land. And that is maybe one day, another Stanley Cup Finals in Philadelphia. And maybe Stanley Cup in Philadelphia. I'm hoping for that. Well, not now, but someday. I'm just, doing some wishful thinking. With that being said, I'll look back on this season as the season where the Flyers took a big step forward, where the Flyers went the extra mile this season for this city and this fan base. I am proud of how far that this team got this season. I am proud that this team silenced a lot of doubters. I am proud that this team did everything that they had night after night, and I am proud to be a Philadelphia Flyers fan.